So you'll probably have to come, if you could come meet me over here whenever you're done, that'd be great, because I'm on this traffic stop and it's very confusing, and I do know how to be a cop, but I've kind of forgotten.
Been doing this for about 8 years.
When you read that complaint, what came to your mind? Laughter.
I don't know if that's something that I can actually say he did wrong.
Sheriff's office, anybody home? Official paperwork.
This is a Shields of Shame exclusive.
That's what the sheriff's office. The warrant civil. Be nice and cordial. That's what the sheriff's office. The warrant civil.
Hi, good morning. May I speak with Booth, please?
This is she.
Hi, Miss Booth. This is Lieutenant Barone with the Cherokee Sheriff's Office, Internal Affairs.
Hello.
Hi. I am calling in regards to you coming in yesterday and speaking with Deputy Rojas. I understand there was a complaint that you'd like to file?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have some time to talk?
I do, yes.
Okay. What's going on? What can I do for you?
So I need to explain the whole situation to you.
Well, I would like to hear it from you. The officer gave me her rundown of what you told her. I would like to hear what you have to say.
Okay, that's I have no problem doing that.
Thank
I just
you.
wanted to be clear.
Thank you.
So last Tuesday, I believe it was the 8th. It was a week ago yesterday. I was in Woodstock on Highway 92, headed towards a doctor's appointment. That was at 2 p.m. And there was part of the highway that was 3 lanes, and then it merges into 2 lanes. And when I saw it was merging, I was in the far right lane. I needed to get over because I needed to merge.
Okay.
So I just merged over, and no, I did not use my turn signal, and I don't. Never denied that. I have a dash cam video showing that I did not use my turn signal. I admit I did not use my turn signal when I merged over. I noticed that the deputy was behind me, and she was behind me for another few minutes. Eventually, she got over into the left-hand lane, sped up and got right beside me and looked in and saw me, slowed down, and then got back behind me.
Okay.
And then she ended up pulling me over about 2 miles down the road from where I merged over in front of her.
Where was that merge over, if I may ask?
Sorry?
You said you were on Highway 92 and that it was 3 lanes turning into 1 and you needed to merge over. I don't know where on Highway 92 you're speaking of.
It's hard for me to describe. I'm not from the Atlanta, Woodstock area.
Okay.
I moved up here when I married my husband, so it's on Highway 92. It's in Woodstock. There's railroad tracks going perpendicular.
I think I know where you're talking. Yes. Are you headed towards Cobb County? You just went over Highway 5. I think I know where you're talking. Highway 92 is very busy right near 575. Is that okay?
Yes, we live in Cobb County, so I was coming from Cobb County up to Woodstock, so I was going on 92 up that way.
Okay, I have an idea where you were, and that's right near Highway 5, Highway 92 and Highway 5, where those railroad tracks are.
Yes.
Do you know where she pulled you over?
She ended up pulling me over. I would have to look it up on the map to see the intersection, but it was right at right before a light where there was a racetrack, there was a U-Haul.
I know exactly where you're talking. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So you want me to keep going?
Yes, please. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I just wanted to get an idea in my mind where you were, so I have an idea where you're at.
Okay, great. So she pulls me over. I have my driver's license ready, and I hand it to her, and she said that I did not use my turn signal. And I said, yes, I admitted I did not.
Okay.
And then she said that she pulled the registration, and that our registration was suspended, which was shock to me, news to me, and when I told my husband about it, it was news to him. We had no idea.
Right. Very rarely will the drivers of the vehicle know the registration's been suspended.
Right. And
so
that was
troubling.
Yeah, that was frustrating for us, and we ended up finding out that we went to the DMV, found out that it was, and how we missed it, and how it, like you said, there's really very rarely drivers even know that their registration is suspended until they're pulled over.
Why was it suspended? The officer told me it had to do with an insurance lapse. But
yes, there was an insurance lapse of 1 day back in November.
My God.
And then our insurance lapsed for 1 day back in November, paid our insurance the next day, or it was effective the next day. And then the deputy said that then the registration was suspended at the end of December, and we're just now finding out about it in February.
Through a traffic stop, nonetheless. It seems like the insurance companies are so quick to let the DMV know, hey, this person didn't pay their insurance, let's suspend their registration. You paid it the next day, you say. How quick were they to let the registration DMV know? It's like they don't even care. And it's really upsetting. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Right. So she told me that. I was shocked. I was trying to get my husband on the phone. He was working, and she said, you can either call the tag office, call your tag office in Cobb County, a tag office in Cobb County where you live, and pay these fines on the phone or online. And she said I could either do that, or I need to call somebody because she's going to have my car towed.
Right.
And so I got super nervous, and I was like, okay, well, I will try to handle this over the phone with the tag office. And then I look in my rearview mirror, and there were two other, I don't know if they were officers or deputies, that also pulled up. And she came back to the window and said that they were her backup just in case she needed some. And the other male, I'm not sure. I did not get his name. I'm not sure if he's a deputy or officer.
I think he's a deputy if it's the same person that I was told was there.
Okay. Well, he came to the passenger window where Deputy England was, and
okay, so they're both on the passenger side?
Correct.
Okay. And the windows rolled down, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I kept my window rolled down the whole time.
Just the front or the rear passenger side too?
The front.
Okay, thank you.
And he told me the same thing, either call the tag office or we'll have your car towed. So I'm on the phone trying to find a number, calling them, and I'm letting them know, okay, I'm calling the tag office, and he just super fast, super quick, just tells me this random phone number. And so I hang up on the phone with the tag office, and I said, okay, what's that number? And then he says that the number again, and he says, are you in Cherokee County? And I said, no, I'm in Cobb County. And he goes, oh, well, then never mind. And so I start getting really flustered, really anxious, trying to do what they're telling me to do, to call the tag office so I don't get my car towed.
Right.
And while I'm on the phone, they're both standing there on the passenger side by my window, just having a normal conversation between the two of them, talking very loudly. And then they go back and forth from talking to themselves to talking to me and asking me questions about my vehicle and whose name it's in, how long have I had it, what does my husband do for work, just all these questions while I'm trying to be on the phone. And I get really pressured because and honestly get scared. I have not been in this situation before, so I'm not sure if I need to answer their questions and not be rude to them and ignore them so that that doesn't get any worse, or keep doing what I'm trying to do, what they told me to do.
Which would make it look like you're ignoring them and not answering their questions.
Right, and I don't want to get worse, and I'm trying to do what they told me to do, and be on the phone while they're either talking to me or talking to themselves and distracting me, and asking me questions about my vehicle, which I wasn't understanding why they were doing that when she said that the reason she pulled me over was because of my turn signal, and then it quickly became into just, I'm curious about your car. This is an unusual car. And just all these questions about my husband's vehicle that I just happened to be driving that day. And it wasn't really about the turn signal at all. And so...
Well, it seems like once she realized that it was a registration suspension, that her attention went to that as opposed to the turn signal. And is it true that your husband's vehicle, the one that you were operating, is a blacked out Tahoe with a push bumper, and it appears to be a law enforcement vehicle?
Yes, it does appear that way. No, okay. We are not intentionally making it that way, but yes, it does appear that way.
Okay, and I think maybe that's why she's asking about the questions. I haven't spoken to the officer and gotten her side of it yet, but I'm assuming that because of that, hey, did they ever ask if your husband was in law enforcement?
No, they did not.
Okay, but they asked what kind of work he did.
Right.
Okay. So what happens from there?
So eventually, I cannot handle the tag office and talking to them. So I get my husband on the phone, and he handles the tag office and pays it.
Was that hard for him to do? Is that something he was able to do over the phone or online? And I'm asking out of just curiosity, because when I was on the road, I would have just impounded your vehicle. We didn't have the opportunity to do that type of thing now. I know that things have changed in this day and age of technology. So was it as easy as just him calling up and paying a fine? Did he even have to pay a fine? Because it doesn't sound like it was your mistake.
Right. Well, he did have to pay a fine that was on there, but on their system it said it wasn't due until March 7th, which is his birthday, which is when registration, of course, is due on your birthday, right? Or by your birthday, I think.
Yes.
So they said yes, it's suspended, but it's not due until March 7th. So he just went ahead and paid it last week when all of this was happening. But he called the tag office, and they said that you cannot pay it over the phone. You have to either pay it online or come into the office. And so he hung up the phone and went on their website and has to pay it online.
Okay.
So he paid it online, and he emailed me the receipt. And then I showed the receipt to Deputy England and another officer or deputy that showed up, a different one that ended up showing up also, that was with her. Showed them the receipt, and she said, okay, you're free to go. And that was the end of it.
Okay. From what the deputy told me, you weren't happy with the stop, and that's why you and your husband came in yesterday to file a complaint.
Right. I, like I said, during what was going on with Deputy England and that other deputy that was with her, I felt very harassed, very unsure about what to do. I felt very uncomfortable with the male that showed up, and the questions he was asking, not just the questions he was asking, because I understand why he was asking them, but just that he was leaning on our car. He was like resting his hand, the window was down. He was resting his arm on the window. And it was just very, I felt this was my husband's car. I felt that was kind of disrespectful to our property, and just very not giving me much room and space to do what they were asking me to do. And yesterday, after talking to Deputy Rojas and the other men that were there, I understand why he was doing what he was doing. But like I said, I've never been in this situation before, and I had a week to think about it. It wasn't that this happened to me, I'm so mad, I'm going to go the next day and file a complaint. I've been thinking about this for a week, and me and my husband have been talking about it for a week and focusing on it, and everything that happened just does not sit well with me about how I was treated and how I was talked to, how he approached me in my vehicle and stayed there, and his body language was just not, I can't find the word for it, but I think I explained it enough.
Okay. What is it that I could do that would make it better?
Well, like we said yesterday, me and my husband didn't go in there to say we're going to file a lawsuit or, to demand action or discipline against these people. It's that this has happened to my husband before, and now this is the first time it's happened to me, his wife, and we just want a record of it happening so that
record
just in
of
case
what happening?
Of the incident of a record of a complaint against this deputy. I'm not really sure how.
You want a record of the complaint, which is not a problem. I'm taking an accusation right now for the incident. But it sounds like everything that you're saying, it's really going to be hard for me to say that you were harassed because you weren't sure of what to do. You said that he was disrespectful and did not give you time or space to do what they asked you to do. I don't know if that's something that I can actually say he did wrong. What is it? By him putting his arm up there, I'll tell him to keep his arm off of people's vehicles and stuff, that you felt that was disrespectful. And his body language, we can't assume what his body language meant. What could the officer have done differently that would have made you happy with the stop? Because you didn't get a citation for either of the infractions that occurred. They allowed you time to go ahead and make it right as opposed to impounding the vehicle. Was Deputy England rude or disrespectful or unprofessional?
Deputy England, no. I felt like she knew what the male deputy was doing, and by questioning me, trying to get me flustered, asking me these questions, and going on and not really leaving me alone. And I feel like she knew what he was doing, and that's their job, yes.
Well, that's what I was just about to start saying and explaining, but you said that they explained it to you yesterday. A lot of times we get lied to.
Right.
A lot of times the registration will come up and it'll be a different person driving the vehicle saying that it's them because they don't have a valid license or whatever the situation may be. He's been doing this job a long time. We are lied to. So we will ask questions repeatedly. I'll go ask a question, step back to my vehicle, let that other officer go up and ask the same question. We try and separate parties. If there's a passenger, try and separate them and see if they're lying. For this type of situation, it didn't seem like it needed to go to that extreme for a simple failure to use your turn signal. The registration, it ups it a little bit, but it doesn't make it an extremely a traumatic event for the officer. This is just a basic thing. I feel like they went above and beyond to keep the vehicle from being impounded. And I'm going to pull the officer's tapes and see how they talk to you and things of that nature. But if I got this right, it seems like your complaint's against the male for asking questions and conducting an investigation during a traffic stop.
Well, I do have a quick question for you.
Sure.
While it's on my mind. So they told us yesterday that, it is all right. We are free to do so, to come in here and file a complaint against a officer or a deputy.
Yeah.
But now it seems like that we're learning is that we can come in and ask to file a complaint, but then y'all have to follow up to see if what actually happened gets to be filed for a complaint.
No, I'm taking your complaint. I am definitely taking your complaint, and I'm looking into it. Just because I take your complaint, just to understand, doesn't mean he's going to be found at fault for doing anything wrong.
Right, I
I've taken thousands of complaints in which people are like, this officer did this, this, and this, and I want him fired. And I watch the video or listen to the audio, and it's completely opposite of what happened. If everything that you're telling me happened, and these officers say, yeah, that's happening, I'm not really finding any policy or procedure that these officers did wrong. I haven't done my investigation. I haven't talked to anybody but you and the woman that you spoke to yesterday. It just sounds like he was doing good police work. So that's, we are taking your complaint for sure.
Okay.
It'll be on record, and once I get all my ducks in a row, I'll be able to give you an internal affairs case number. But from what you're telling me and what I've heard so far, I can't think of a policy or procedure that the officer did wrong, because that's what I do. I'm not against. I'm out here to decide if the traffic stop was legal or not. Well, actually, I am, but it's really about policies and procedures. Did my employee follow what he was supposed to do? Did he do it the way we want him to do it, with professionalism, kindness, and empathy? And if that comes out to be a yes, then I'm going to find the officer did nothing wrong. If I watch the video and listen to the audio and it shows that he was being rude, well, then he's going to be found at fault for being not kind, a code of conduct violation.
Right. Well, if he was being kind, and I can't remember the other two words that you just used. Obviously, I would not say no that he was kind to me. No, but like you said, you need to look at the footage and
I understand
everything.
that you have video of the traffic stop before and after.
I have video. I have not looked at my dash cam since I think the day after that happened. So the only video that I know that I have is when I merged lanes, and right when Deputy England was pulling me over.
I gotcha.
But I have not further.
You don't know if you have anything of when she walked up to your vehicle and the interaction between you and my officers?
Right. I do not know that yet.
Okay. If you're willing to give it anything that you have, I would like to accept that from you. If you're not, that's fine. Just let me know if you do have it. I would like to listen to it and see it from your angle, your perspective.
Okay.
And when I get done with speaking to the officers, the case number and everything like that, I will call you back to let you know what I found, and then we can just go from there. Is that okay?
That sounds great.
Okay, great. If from now until I call you back, if there's something that you have, or you find that you do have that interaction between you and the officers, give me a call, let me know, and maybe you can email it, or I can come pick it up from you. We can meet somewhere, however you want to get that to me. I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Excellent.
I will look into it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Lindsay. I appreciate you talking with me today.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, good afternoon, Mrs. Booth. This is Lieutenant Brown with the Sheriff's Office.
Good afternoon.
I wanted to, if you have a couple minutes, I wanted to let you know of my findings.
Okay. I do have a few minutes.
Okay, good. Thank you. I reviewed both officers' videos, the in-car videos, as well as interviewed both officers, and I'm just not seeing anything where they violated a policy or procedure, or in which Deputy Blackerby was rude, unprofessional, harassing, or intimidating towards you. I kind of feel like it might be your perception, and it's hard for me to defend somebody's perception. But as far as him putting his arm on your vehicle, yes, he did do it. The video clearly shows he did it. He said he did it because you two were having a calm, cordial conversation. He didn't feel any threat towards you and didn't realize it would be a problem. Deputy England, the female officer, said that she saw Corporal Blackerby do that, and she assumed that he just did that because it was just trying to put you less at ease, or put you at ease, and not make the situation so rigid. That was her explanation, but basically Blackerby told me that he was just doing it because he thought that you guys had a good rapport and didn't mean any offense or anything of that nature. So I have exonerated Corporal Blackerby from the accusation.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you need from me or would like from me, or do you have any questions?
So you finished everything you needed to do, so what next?
We're done. The case is closed on my end. It's up to you what goes next.
I'm asking because I don't know. We came in to file a complaint, and you said you didn't find anything, so will there be no complaint, or?
No, ma'am, I took your complaint. I looked into it, and I don't agree with your complaint. I exonerated the officer.
So what does that mean? When you don't agree with my complaint, nothing is going to be on file? Like if this happens again and I encounter another officer in Cherokee County?
No, ma'am, I have an entire case file. I have 2 interviews on discs. I have the in-car videos. I have a case file on the incident. I exonerated the officer, and it's going to be held within Cherokee counties for 20 years.
Okay. Well, that's all I needed to know.
Okay. And one thing I would suggest, you might not want to have your vehicle look so much like a police vehicle. For some reason, there is a sticker placed on your license plate, which is against the law. I don't know why anyone would want to make their vehicle look like a police vehicle when you're not in law enforcement. If you know the atmosphere of the world out there, cops are getting shot sitting in their vehicles. So I would just try and be mindful of that. Keep yourself safe. Don't park in close quarters to buildings, banks, or anything like that, because if you were to pull up and there was something going on, a robber, somebody would take your vehicle as a law enforcement vehicle, and they would probably open fire on you. So please be careful and get that sticker off your license plate.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.